let's see the next technique, which is called weighted round robin load balancing. So it is just the simple modification in the round robin. Here what we do is we provide the weighted version of the server. Means we give some sort of weight. Each server in the pool is given a static numerical weight. Servers with higher rating get more requests sent to them. So what we do is, let's say we have many servers in as a cloud service providers, we have many servers. Okay, all these servers may have different hardware, or maybe this particular server number 1, server number 2, 3, and 4. So all these servers have some resources, and these resources, based on these resources, will give some sort of weight. Weight means, let's say I provide the highest weight to the server which is having the highest capability or highest, let's say, the resources. So let's say I have given a numeric value 10 to this particular server. It means that this particular server is having the highest resource. Okay, highest number of resources. Let's say this particular server is the second highest number of resources. Okay, let's say I'll give the weight as 7. Let's say this particular server has the least among all these things, there is a least resources. Now this server has, let's say, somehow good resources than server number 1. So we'll provide some sort of weight. Okay. And this particular load balancer, if the request is coming through the client to the load balancer, how the request will be fulfilled. Let's say this is request number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's say 10 requests are there. So request number 1 will, in the round robin fashion, it should go to the server number 1, right? Then request number 2 will go to the server number 2. Then request number 3 will go to server number 3. Then request number 4 will go to server number 4, right? This is the sequence in the round robin. But here what will happen is, here we have given the weight. This is the weight. Now based on the weight and based on the round robin, they will provide the request. So what will happen is, I'm just putting the request in white so that there will be no confusion. Let's say, so what load balancer will do is, load balancer will map it in that way. Let's say request number will come here in the first server, request number will go in the second server, then in the third server, then in the fourth server. In that way, there is a round robin. Then again, the fifth request will coming. So we are going to give the fifth request to the server with the highest capacity. Okay. So among that, so let's say this is the least capacity, so we'll not provide it. Let's say after that, this is very good capacity, so we'll provide, let's say, 5 to this. Then 6 is coming, then we'll provide to, let's say, this is 1, the weight is 1, this is 5, so we can provide it here. Let's say the next request we can provide to this. Let's say we have another request like 8, so we are going to provide to this, either this or this is the safest one, so we can provide to 4, 7 as well as 8. The next is coming, so we can provide to this. So because it is having the highest weight, we are providing the highest number of requests to that particular server, right? Even though it is a round robin, we are providing the highest number of requests to that particular server who is having the highest weight. Okay, with the diagram you can understand, like server number 1 has a weight 4 and server number 2 has a weight 2. So it means that what is the meaning of that? It means that server number 2, whatever server number 2 is serving, 50% more could be served, or you can say 2x will be served by server number 1. Because what is the weight of server number 2? Server number 2 has a weight 2 and server number 1 has weight 4. So if server number 1 is serving n number of requests, so server number 2 is serving n number of requests, so server number 1 can serve 2 into n number of requests. Getting it? Because the capacity or the weight is 2 times, right? So let's say the first request is coming, we are providing to server number 1. Second request is coming, we are providing to server number 2. In that way, we have to provide like this. A first request is coming. If first request is coming, we have to provide to server number 1. Second request is coming, we have to provide to server number 2. Third request is coming, we have to provide to server number 3. Fourth request is coming, we have to provide to server number. Okay, we have to make it 2 times. So this is 1, this is 2. Then let's say this is 2. So the next will be provided to, let's say here, as well as like this. Let's say the next is coming, so we'll provide it here. So now we have to give 8, 9, and it is 3, right? So we have to provide here 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the next request will come here. So it is 4. Now we have to make it into 2, right? So here we have to provide how many? Next request, another next request, in that way. So all the time the load is 2 times more in server 1 than server 2. So that is the objective of it. And even though we are having a round robin fashion, so we have to provide some of the requests to both the servers in a round robin fashion, but in this particular weighted way. So I hope you understood that how we provide the load on these servers.